This is God's nature. He calls those things which do not exist as though they did. So he called forth Isaac even though Isaac wasn't there yet. This is a God who can do it. Okay, Sarah's womb is dead by now. 80, 90 years old. Are you with me? Past childbearing age, a long time. But God can call those things which are not, that do not exist, as though they did. God can call forth a building. Do you have a building in your heart? Do you have a house? Someone want to buy a house here? Call forth. Someone want a new car here? And again, this is not a prosperity message. I'm just saying, you have a dream in your heart. It's not there yet. You don't even have the money for that. Someone want to further your studies, master's degree, maybe PhD, don't have the money for it. Yeah. Call forth those things which are not or do not exist. Not there yet, not there yet. You can't see it. That's faith. Call it forth as though they did. Yep. You got to start seeing it in your mind that you have it. You got to start seeing in your spirit that you have it. You got to start looking into your wall that's empty now, and one day there will be a PhD on it. If it's of God, if it's a promise of God, it will happen. All of us here in this room, before we leave here today, you've got to remember that it is a promise of God, not by your works, not by your cleverness, not by your degree or the lack of it, not by how much money you have in your pocket. When someone gives you a promise, the someone wants to fulfill it. You didn't ask for this promise. You didn't cry and buy this promise. Someone promised you. How many of you can remember some promises of God this morning? I mentioned to you some of it. By His stripes, we are healed. God will honor those who honor Him. You and your household shall be saved. A lot of you got a lot of promises from God. No, guys, it comes straight from the Word. You didn't ask for it. You didn't write the Bible. God gave it to you. He expects and wants to and intends to fulfill it. Even though you're fearful. Even though you might half lie here, half lie there, and you don't intend to. You want to love God. You want to fear God, but sometimes life just hits you hard. That's why He came. Because we are sheep. And sheep just have to, and not know what to do. They just follow. But He came. He loves us. He came and gave us His wisdom. His wisdom is found in His Word. It's His promise. I can think of maybe 100 more, guys. Just look at His Word. Some of you have a promise that your loved one will be healed. By His stripes. We are made whole. We are healed. Wow, there are hundreds more. It's His promise. And I want you to hold on to it, number one. Number two, it's faith. You cannot do anything in the area of spirituality. You can't answer things of the spirit with things of the physical. You got to answer with spirit. You got to answer spiritual things with spiritual things. You all with me? And a spiritual thing with God is faith. He already said in His Word, you cannot please Him without faith. Faith is the one that moves mountains. But I have to tell you something else about faith. Faith without works is dead. Show me your faith without your works, and I'll show you my faith through my works. It's about action. When was the last time you acted on your faith? Because I'm telling you right now, you can say you have faith, but have no works. And I will say I have faith through my works. Faith and works. Faith without works is dead. So when's the next time you're going to activate that faith? Come on. Because faith itself is not strong enough. You and I got to activate that faith. If you are still with me, say amen. How and why do you activate that faith? Because there's a promise. How do you make sure that promise is still alive in your life? You live by faith and not by sight. You cannot live by sight and expect a promise. Because the promise is spiritual. The promise is from a spirit. The promise is from God, who is spirit. So don't get God's promise through your own works. Don't get God's promise through your own strength. Do it God's way, and God's way is simply believe. And when you believe, do as you believe.